If you currently run or are planning to run a small business that offers a product or a service and are concerned about your sales, this video is for you. Most people think that making sales is all about having a great product or offering a great service. And while some of that is true, here's the reality. Come closer, let me tell you the secret. People don't actually buy products, they actually buy confidence. Think about it. Have you ever bought something not just because of what it was, but because you felt assured that it was the right choice? Whether it's a new phone, a business service, or even just credibility from someone you're watching on YouTube. You're making that choice based on trust. Trust in the brand, trust in the seller, and trust in the experience. And if you're trying to sell more, grow a business, or build a personal brand, you need to understand this principle. The more confidence you give to your customers, the more likely they're going to buy from you again and again and again and again. Hey everyone, welcome back to the jusjus channel. And if you're new here, hi. And if you're not, I am changing the camera angle a little bit so you get to see more of my setup, just in case you don't see so many of my face in the frame. See less of it. I think that's good. Right? We're testing things out. Let's try this. My name is Justin and most of you might know me from my architectural content. And if you don't know this, I'm also currently running a custom embroidery business from my own home whilst working a full-time job in architecture. So this video might not be something that you're used to, but it is a strong part of my journey in entrepreneurship, and it was only recently where I got this revelation for the title mentioned. Hence why I want to make this video and put it out there into the world for all other small business owners. You ready to hear me yap? Let's go. Let's first talk about why people actually buy. A lot of people think that selling is convincing somebody else to buy a product or a service, but that's only part of it. The real reason why people buy is because they believe in what they're getting. Let's break it down into a few real-world examples. Like this, for example, an iPhone. People don't buy iPhones just because of the specs. They buy because they trust in Apple's brand reputation, they know that the iOS is more or less mostly reliable, and they feel secure in their purchase. Apple always wants to sell this seamless experience and a lot of peace of mind. So it's not just a phone. Or let's look at restaurants with high ratings. Let me ask you this. How many times have you gone to a restaurant and before going there, you actually looked it up on Google just to make sure that the reviews are good? If you're choosing a place to eat, you're not picking a restaurant just because of the menu. You're picking it because you trust the reviews, the recommendations, and the brand reputation. A 4.9 rating would most of the time make you feel confident in the choice that you're making. And lastly, let's talk about hiring a service. Whether it's a tailor, a photographer, or in my case, a custom embroidery business, you're not just paying for what they do. You're paying for the assurance that they'll deliver what you expect. So the key takeaway for this point is that it's not just about the product. It's about how much the customer trusts that they're making the right decision. If you can sell that trust, your business will grow. So I've personally seen this in my own experiences, both as a consumer as well as a business owner. Example one is a florist for my upcoming wedding. Oh wow, at the time of saying this, it's actually going to be less than 2 months before my official wedding day. Time went by really fast. So I'm currently in the midst of planning my own wedding, and my future wife and I reached out to this florist. Now, we weren't just looking for flowers. We needed someone who could handle everything from flower selection to delivery to actually arranging it on the day itself. So what made us choose them? First of all, it was word of mouth from friends and family that had their wedding flowers done by them as well, and they confirmed that they provided first-class service. And the second was their clear line of communication and reliability. Just even from day one, they updated us every step of the way. They even created mood boards that just showed us every single little thing that they were thinking about, and they just asked us for our opinion. And we just felt really taken care of, because initially when we went into this, we were really stressed because we didn't really know what to do. But the florist really gave us a lot of peace of mind, and I think that's really important when you are engaging someone for a service. They really made us feel confident that everything will be perfect on the day. And another scenario would be a custom suit for the wedding, for me of course. And this was considered a huge purchase for me. I wasn't just looking for any suit. I wanted something that fits me perfectly for my body type and made me feel confident on the day. There's going to be a lot of photos taken, and I want to make sure that I look good. So I went with a suit maker who didn't just take my measurements and then say stuff like,
"Oh, we'll have it ready in a few weeks, don't worry about it."
They actually went the extra mile. They thoroughly explained the different fabric options and what would suit my body type, down to the very last details such as the type of buttons, the amount of buttons, what's this thing called? The sizing of the lapel. They measured me well and made sure that I felt really comfortable. And they also reassured me that if there were any final adjustments that needs to be made, they would take care of it. No problem. That level of attention and care made me secure in my choice. And yes, it was on the higher end of the pricing range, but I wasn't just buying a suit. I was buying the confidence that I would look good and feel my best on my wedding day. And that, I feel, is what great businesses do. They don't just sell a product, they sell assurance. And engaging with all of these vendors really started to make me think, am I implementing this into my own custom embroidery business? Because one thing I realized is that people aren't just coming to me to buy a piece of embroidered fashion, but they're also buying the feeling of trust in the quality and also the experience that I'm taking them on. And that's why I try to focus on showcasing my work on social media so that people can see what I've done before and they know that I'm the one making the work come to life. I'm always posting customer testimonials so that new buyers feel more confident. I think I currently only have 5-star ratings on my Google review, and that's been really good in generating more leads coming into the business. And the last thing was being responsive to new people coming in to engage with me, because I know that from personal experience, when someone doesn't respond to me when I reach out, I feel a bit sour, and I'm just thinking like, are you guys taking this business seriously? Because end of the day, I'm trying to pay for something to get done, and don't you want to take on my project? I don't know, I feel very confused sometimes. So the more trust I built, eventually the more sales I made. I think when I first started the business, I was making around, how much was I making? I think I was making around maybe $300 to $500 a month. But now I think after 2 years, and do take in mind, I am working full-time as well, so this is more just doing for fun, and I'm also doing this whole YouTube thing. I think right now I'm easily generating maybe $1.5 to $1.8 thousand a month. I know it's not much on paper, but it's still extra income for me, and I'm pretty happy where I am. And if you want to hear more about my custom embroidery journey, I'll link a video up top describing why I started custom embroidery in the first place, as well as in the description down below. Check it out. So how do you apply this into your small business, your side hustle, or your personal brand? Here are 3 powerful ways you can start selling confidence rather than just selling a product. Number 1, be transparent. If you're selling a product, showcase the behind the scenes content. One thing I realized is that people are really attached to knowing how things happen rather than just looking at the final product. People want to see how you got there, not just the finishing line. So don't be afraid to showcase your ups and your downs. And if you're offering a service, be really transparent with your pricing, have no hidden fees, and make sure you manage expectations in terms of your lead times. There's this saying that says that you should always under-promise and over-deliver rather than the other way around, because the last thing you want is for your customers to be disappointed in the product or service that they're getting. So for example, think of an online store that has detailed descriptions of their product, videos, and a ton of reviews, versus a store that just has one blurry image and a single sentence as the description. Which one would you be most likely to buy from? You tell me. Tip number 2, communicate consistently. Silence kills confidence. Let me repeat that. Silence kills confidence. If a customer or a client has to chase you for updates constantly, they start doubting whether they've made the right decision. I know I've been in that space before. So always keep them informed. Even if there's no big update, just letting them know that you're on top of things builds a lot of trust. So for example, remember that suit maker? The reason I trusted them was because I kept getting consistent updates. Every time I got a message about my progress, it reassured me that everything was going smoothly. Tip number 3, build the trust before the sale. People don't buy from strangers. They buy from people they trust. This is why I'm reiterating this again. Google reviews, customer testimonials, and social proof are so important. If you're selling online, show proof of results, client success stories, or past work. When I started getting more 5-star reviews on my Google page, I saw a huge upsurge in my sales. It was like a compounding effect. And this is why I think that happened. I think it's because people saw my work and they trusted the reviews that I was getting before they bought the product. It removed their doubts and gave them confidence to purchase from me. Now here's something interesting that I personally realized. Selling confidence isn't just for businesses. It also applies to growing a YouTube channel as well. Let me explain. Let's think about it. Why do people actually subscribe to a YouTube channel? I personally think it's because they trust in the value that they're getting out of the content. Or why do people watch certain creators? I think it's because they feel confident that the video they are watching is worth their time. I know that every time I watch a Mr. Who's the Boss video, I always get really excited whenever any of his videos come up, because I know that it's going to be a great video, and yeah, I just love what he does. Great tech reviewer. So here's how I try to do this on my own personal channel. Number 1, consistent uploads. I try to upload at least once a week, and a few shorts here and there, so that my audience can expect new videos constantly. Number 2, I try to engage as much as I can in the comments. I don't get many comments, but whenever I do get one, I get really excited, and I always try to make sure that I help the person that's engaging with me so that they know that I actually see them and not just someone that's posting and disappear. And number 3, I'm delivering on my promises within the boundaries of the video itself. So if my title says how to get into architecture school, I'll try to make sure that I provide enough value, so I actually give actionable tips, not just fluff. And if you enjoyed the video so far, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn notifications on so you don't miss any of my other videos. I talk a lot about architecture, custom embroidery, and also diaries of my life. I just yap a lot. I don't know. So join me on this journey. So at the end of the day, whether you're selling a product, service, or even just content, what you're really selling is confidence. The more trust you build, I believe the more success you will have. And it all comes down to consistency and just trying, because if you never try, you never know, and if you never know, you always regret not trying. Try. Yes. Here's a question for the comments. What's one purchase you made recently that trust played a huge role in it? And did you gain a certain amount of trust from me watching this video? I don't know what else to say. Dance. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.